won the World Cup. That's the story. And so I don't care whoever it is wins this one. We've won this one plenty times as well.
We've won it about 7 times.
Yes. So
it's time for us to qualify here and then see what we can do at the world stage.
Make no mistake, this is a marked team.
All right, that's an interesting one. We wish Manu Garba and his boys, they're doing plenty of work in Kaduna. We wish them the best of luck. And last week he was on the show talking about how he intends to get his team ready, the foreign-based players that will come in, and how they will go to Senegal and do Nigeria proud. But we want him to do well beyond Senegal. Go to the World Cup and do what you did at under 17 level. Make it happen at under 20 level. And I can assure you, you become MON. He has MON already. Another MON. Double MON. We upgrade it. We had EY. All right. So that's for Manu Garba. We wish him the best with his boys. All right. It's time for us to come back to Lagos and talk about grassroots football now. I remember a couple of days ago we had Kashima Olaloko on Sports Tonight, former technical director of the Nigerian Football Federation and the proprietor of the Pepsi Football Academy. And we told you the Pepsi Football Academy is rated Africa's largest football academy. And they've produced a whole lot of stars that have gone on to represent Nigeria in different international competitions. Tunde had a try at the Pepsi Academy. I'm not going to tell you whether he made a success of it or not. I'll leave that for some other time. But let's bring you this beautiful report on Pepsi Football Academy, and then we'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Students of the Pepsi Football Academy, coaches and administrators are here to celebrate this year's Festival of Youth from Gala Night. The students from different regions where the academy functions are turbocharged for a night of fun, and those who have impressed on the field of play will be going home with 1 or 2 of these trophies. Former Flying Eagles player Sahiru Sadi and NFF Technical Director Amadou Shuaibu are some of the personalities that showed up to support the kids.
With serious emphasis, I must say that Pepsi has done a lot. They started it all in terms of youth development in this country as one of those corporate entities who have done so well for our youth. And it behoves us to now encourage them and to also ask other corporate bodies to emulate and invest in our youth.
Time for the major reason for this gathering. Now let's find out those footballers that have impressed this year.
Zion Omoyo Fumi.
One of the awardees, Precious McCrock, credits all he's achieved to the academy.
That helped me a lot because I joined it last year, and it's been great though. The skillful footballers, my teammates, and all other stuff like that. It's been great. It's been great.
It wasn't just about the players. The coaches also had their moments.
We discovered it right from when they were kids. That is between the ages of 5 up to 15 years. So by the time they joined the academy, we start from the basics. And this is what has been helping the academy.
Ian Nelson is a consultant for the Pepsi Football Academy. He believes these guys are the future of Nigerian football.
It's 22 years old, and indeed for anything to last that long in Nigeria without a disruption is a remarkable achievement in itself. We've got, what, 15 players now who've played for the Super Eagles. We have scholarships abroad in the UK. Really, the achievements are remarkable.
We've identified the fact that football is a passion, that goes to the heart and the core, the nerves of the youth. And that's why we are actually putting our support as a brand behind the youth and behind the Pepsi Football Academy in particular.
And that indeed has been the story of the Pepsi Football Academy. The project has produced Super Eagles players such as John Mikel Obi, Osazeo Dewinge, Elderson Echejile, amongst others. So, take a good look at these young footballers. They might just be the next big thing waiting to happen to Nigerian football. Austin Okonakpan, reporting for Channels Television News.
All right, so that's it. We can't, of course, say too much about the impact that the Pepsi Football Academy have had on Nigerian football. We hope to see many, many more players come from this academy and go on to play at the very highest level for Nigeria. We've made a change now on Sports Tonight. This is the last part of the show. We have very little time left, but we've made a change. Toby Adepoju has joined us on Sports Tonight now. Toby, The fact that referee Charles Ozigbo was beaten shouldn't make you put up such a hard face. You just put a smile on your face. This is season for Christmas, and the culprits are going to be brought. They will bring them to book.
Yeah, really. Good evening, Tony. It's sad, you know. It's sad when you come on set to discuss Nigerian football and, you know, something just cross your heart about
referees being beaten and all of that
a lot of wrong
at this time of the season.
I just hope, you know, we keep hoping. You know, hope is the last thing to leave a man. We just need to hope things will change in the Nigerian football, hopefully.
Okay, before we do that, gentlemen, let's talk about today was a good day. Continental competitions, the draws were made in different parts of for the teams to know who their opponents will be. But let's start with the CAF Champions League. Nigeria will be represented next year by Enyimba and Kano Pillars, just as it was last year. Enyimba up against Beninois champions. Toby, you've been reading up about them. And Kano Pillars are drawn against a team from South Sudan. So we expect that these two teams, unfortunately, we have to play from the preliminary round. So it shows that our not doing well in the last couple of years is affecting our rating.
It's really affecting us, and I think if we fail to get to the group stage this time, I think we might, you know, lose one slot. One slot. And, you know, it's really telling on us now. You know, at this stage we used to get by, but this time around we're being paired from these stages. And, you know, just like you said, you know, Enyimba will come up against the Benin champion. They've won the league 3 times in Benin. They might look like a very, very strong side. Don't forget how a tiny Togolese team almost edged Enyimba out. You know, Angers. You know, I think Enyimba and Kano Pillars could have learned a lot of lessons from the past tournament. Also, Pillars will be facing cup champions in South Sudan. It means they are playing against champions. These are people that have been tested in their country, just like, you know, how Enyimba Pillars have been tested here. So I don't think it's going to be rosy for these two teams. And they need to put everything in place, put all mechanisms in place. You know, sign good players, recruit very well,
start training,
do good camping, play quality friendly games, and, you know, put these guys on a good welfare package. You know, good traveling plans. And a lot of logistics being put in place.
In the competition scope we are also going to play from the preliminary rounds. Dolphins are up against Luans Vegetarianos.
From Equatorial Guinea.
And Warri Wolves against RCB, Burkina Faso.
For Dolphin, we're playing a club being founded by Spanish, by his nationality is Spanish in 2001. They don't got much pedigree in terms, you know, of football in Equatorial Guinea, but I think Dolphin have got a very easy draw. If you look at the pedigree of this club, founded in 2001, they might not get, you know, solid as Dolphin FC, but for Warri Wolves, they need to be careful. The club they are facing was founded in 1949. That means they are an ancient club.
They have tradition at least.
In Burkina Faso, they are traditional side. So I think Warri Wolves should really watch for this. And don't forget they won the league title also 3 times in Burkina Faso. So the 4 teams have got a very tricky side. I think the technical crew and the clubs, what they need to do is try and get information about all these clubs and hopefully
do a lot of work.
We could get a very good ride
in the preliminary rounds.
Let
me come to you, because the issue now is not about the teams we've drawn. We know Nigerian teams, if well prepared, can go all the way. We know that they can go all the way if they really put their minds to it. But the worry for me, Onye, is the league won't be on at that time. We have elections in Nigeria about that time. What lessons can we learn from what happened last year? The same situation. The league wasn't on. The teams were rusty. They struggled. Most of them crashed out.
Well, very unfortunate.
And government is transiting. So money may not come the way
as at when due. You have said it all. You know, I think last season should be the worst for our continental teams. You know, we didn't get to the group stages.
All of them crashed
out at the second round stage. So for the clubs, what they need to do simple. Know your players now, recruit them. If you are going to change coaches, if you want to, the technical coach should remain, take that decision immediately and start training. You know, go for tougher games. We have clubs in Benin Republic, in Ghana. You can arrange.
You should go and play tours.
The world is a global village. If the funds are available, then you can train. You can play. You know, tougher
That's
clubs.
the problem. If the funds are available, but government is transiting. Almost all the states are having elections and all of that. Where's the fund going to come from?
This is where, you know, people like INC and people managing Pillars should wake up.
Those managing our clubs, you mean? Source for your funds.
Enyimba is one of the biggest. I was in Togo. Enyimba was respected. If you see the way the Togolese welcome, you know, I mean, they are one of the biggest clubs in Africa. at least we can manage ourselves beyond the government.
So
I mean,
you are saying
get little funds to start preparations, at least to at a level where the government will come in and help you. You know, I think most of our administrators need to think about
outside of government funding.
Outside government funding.
That's the challenge.
Get something.
That's the challenge. But how much of outside funding can they get between now and February?
They should have started working on this. I think they